The lineup for Denver has been very good. They've won 4 in a row, 8 of 9, with Dozier in the starting lineup. Jokic with a great pass to Campazzo. The extra dish. Dozier. Zubac's down low, and with Jokic, Shaq, the last center to win the MVP award, that was back in 2000. I mean, the position has changed drastically over the last 20 years. It's not just Jokic being different than Shaq. It's pretty much every center is different than Shaq.
Loves them. So, Dave, who are you voting for MVP?
I'm not picking yet, man. I'm waiting to the last possible second as Gordon.
And so it's hard to make an argument against him.
Meanwhile, the Clippers are because of the Suns' overall record.
I couldn't agree more.
Turnover by Denver, and then Campazzo fouling Jackson in the backcourt. That's 6 points per game, good for 11th in the league. Reggie Jackson's three comes up short. Campazzo quickly ahead, and it's picked off. Look at Campazzo get on the floor and hustle. That had to hurt the way he dove on the floor, touched it last. As you see Jamal Murray, good to see you, Jamal, by the way, at the game tonight after tearing the ACL 3 weeks ago.
Now, look, when you turn the ball over, this is the type of effort that they want to see. However fake it to get that system and that rotation, especially in the postseason. But if all three guys are healthy, or two of the three guys are healthy.
Clippers have gone almost 4 minutes without a point. The big three, by the way, for Brooklyn has played only 7 games together.
0 for 7. You know, that's what T. Lue is looking for, a little bit more consistency in their effort in that first quarter.
Jokic bumped.
Now is to watch. How does he respond? You know, you're 3 for 10 in the first half. Let's see how you end the first half. Let's see how you play in the second half.
Clippers at 28 points after 1. So in 7.5 minutes of the second quarter, they have just 8 points. And they almost cough it up there. Corner three. Won't go. This three by Denver. Rondo the other way. Gets the. You've seen his game go to a new level this year because he's got an alpha in Chris Paul playing next to him. Now games and move into the 3 spot in the West. Morris corner three.
Took out
Jokic won. Campazzo and then Gordon. That's
and then look, not you're the center bringing it up, dropping off a pass, and then talking about is that if they wouldn't have handled their business the way they have over this past 10-11 games, then you have a difficult stretch. That's when they could have been putting.
Basket for Paul George after he missed his final 7 shots of the first half. So George now with 13 points. And you saw that list, one of 7 players to start every game. The only other player on one of those 4 teams was Duncan Robinson.
We know at any point in time can go for 40, super efficient player, but you know, if you're going to force him to get outside jumpers, that's as good lethal, that in-between game. So if you're going to make him shoot contested shots, even though he has that ability, you just tip your hat.
Jackson will try a 3 off the bounce, swishes it. Kawhi Leonard playing his 47th game. Outside of that 1 year, he played just 9 games, and there was a lot going on there that year in San Antonio. As Campazzo hits the deck, Paul George commits the foul. But outside of that 1 year, 2018, this work with on this number doesn't like the play-in tournament. How about you? Do you like it as a guy who was a player?
I love the play-in tournament. You give teams, you know, you see with injuries and COVID, this is a great opportunity to allow. If you don't make it, then you're in the lottery. If you don't make the postseason, you're in the lottery. But you give, and so Paul George, I kind of laughed right before because you could see it coming. You could see it happening. Him kind of getting Paul George a couple of weeks ago when he had 50. He just focuses in and plays defense regardless of.
Jokic with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. They go back to him here with a shot clock at 9. Facing up against Zubac. Here comes the double. Jokic.
Kind of get his rhythm as you head into this final stretch.
7-0 run by Denver. The shot clock is down to 5. Here's Jokic again off 1 foot. And by George. Just made one of those going to break on the baseline. George gets rid of it by Paul George. Leonard, his first game back in 6 games, playing just his second in the last 11. And maybe the Clippers just a little bit out of sync. Oh, he had a 40-point game, but Wizards unable to beat Dallas. And all the NFL draft storylines, including the latest on Aaron Rodgers, coming up SportsCenter next, ESPN and the ESPN app. Jokic comes up short on the 3, keeps it alive though, and gets to the loose ball.
Watch this movement. The minute Jokic touched the ball, look at that ball just starts popping. That is a difficult.
Still shot it, and that's his second 3, 13 points for Porter, who over the last 5 games is averaging 30. Denver trying to win for the 5th straight time and 9th in the last 10 games since losing Jamal Murray to a season in.
Different great scores. The goal is always point per shot.
George around and out, so he's now 5 of 17. He's also missed 3 free throws. Clippers though only down 4. Rivers winning. They're tied with the Lakers and Portland on the heels of both those teams to try to avoid the play-in tournament. Here's a deep 3 from Porter that goes. 20 points.
He's always looking to score. He is a natural scorer in this league. And I think the more comfortable he gets with his ability and the way people are going to defend him, I just see him as a 25-point-a-game scorer in this league before it's done. Just relocates. It's just catch and shoot. Like, he's not looking.
Hung on the rim forever and dropped.
Oh, he was shot out of a cannon there.
Rondo single-handedly keeping the Clippers in the game right now. They're back within 7-8 minutes to. And he didn't play till the end of the 3rd. You touched on it. They brought him in to be physical with Jokic, although Jokic ain't going to be for a long time. 22 years old.
I don't know.
Got a chance to be elite as a shooter.
Yeah, and you can see the proof is in the pudding. I don't know about that pass there for Campazzo.
Here's Kawhi. 23 minutes played. Leonard first game. In the last 6, he's been out with a foot injury. He's played just 1 of his last 10 games, and then they'll finish with their last 4 games on the road. Denver's got a ridiculous stretch of games. Lakers Monday, the Knicks at Utah, a back-to-back, Brooklyn at home next Saturday, and then their final 4 games are on the road. Gordon spin players in the league. He's been out with a right hamstring injury for the last 2 weeks. But a turnover by Denver.
Yeah, you get these gritty guys like Campazzo and Dozier that have just been waiting for their opportunity.
13 points though off the bench tonight. Didn't play till the end of the 3rd quarter, and he hasn't come off the floor. Campazzo with a stutter step.
Not
going to challenge it. Jokic 4-3. Clippers will play it out here and not foul. Rondo was trying to come behind and strip Jokic. What a great look over the top. Campazzo drills it.
Time of death, 9:26 Pacific. And just Jokic the whole time, he is looking, he's waiting. He sees, he's okay, there's 2 people here. Where is the guy? No look to the corner. Campazzo lock and load.
Into the backcourt for Campazzo. They get it across to Campazzo. They got a foul, and they do. Probably should have fouled Jokic. Smart by Michael Malone. You got the ball in one of those 2 guys' hands there. So either or, it's going to be a guy that shoots in the mid-80s at the line.
Yeah, and I still would foul Campazzo over Jokic because Jokic, shoots more free throws. That 80 plus for Campazzo, there's a much smaller sample size, even though, look, he knocked down the first one.
To your point, Jokic is 10 of 10. Campazzo 3 of 3. Denver 19 of 20 as a team. Again, the Clippers are out of timeouts, and they lost one of those timeouts on that failed challenge. So no ability to advance the ball and save a little time. As Campazzo gets the second one, it's a 6-point lead for Denver.
I like that Campazzo didn't let Rondo roll the ball up, take off more time off the clock.
Paul George short. Jokic with the rebound, and looks like the Clippers are going to back off. Jokic throws it down court to Porter. A big win for Denver. They win the season series, so if these two teams finish tied in the standings, Denver would finish ahead, and that's big because right now the team that's in the 4th spot would play the Lakers in the first round. Obviously, we got a lot of games to go here, but who wants to see them in round 1? Denver with another impressive performance since the injury to Jamal Murray. They've won 9 out of 10 and 5 in a row. That's the longest win streak right now in the league, and that's without one of their best.